finally getting some activity out here. It just seems odd. So far, nothing hostile except this pain in my side that won't go away. Instead of what? The little children were buried in Satan.
Scanning stopped.
Right down the center of my bloody back. Right down the center of my bloody back. I hate doing this. Someone will get chewed up by a skeeter.
Red mark.
History left behind mysteries that we may never understand. We search for the answers. We strive to build our reputation as parahistorical investigators. Our team are professionals in our field, studying our history and searching for those answers. Regardless of what you believe, there are things that go bump in the night, and we're the ones who bump back. These are living history's mysteries. We are here at the South Wayne Cemetery in Dowagiac, Michigan. It's a beautiful evening. Let's see what kind of tales this place has to tell.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. As Drew says, we are at the South Wayne Cemetery, also known as Wayne Chapel Cemetery. As I was doing my research on this cemetery, I couldn't, what was it like, not much I could find on here. What I did find, South Wayne Cemetery was owned by Wayne Township, located on Gage Street. Here we're standing next to William and Sarah Farrell. The unique headstone from these two people was, this used to be their land. What they did was they donated this land to have this cemetery and chapel be built on here. The Farrells had 8 kids. One by the name of Martha, which she is buried, going to be right behind that the sign as we walked in here, entered in here. She married George Lilly, who enlisted into Company M, 1st Michigan Cavalry. His headstone is right next to his wife's. He was discharged from the Army from falling off his horse at Fort Scott, Virginia on January 13th, 1863. Now, interesting fact that I found on Mr. Lilly, his headstone was originally ordered to go to Riverside Cemetery. His wife found out, and the family pretty much told Riverside Cemetery, his family's buried here, he's going to be buried here as well. That's one of the unique stories in this cemetery. So several other stories from this cemetery we're going to be talking to was one family by the name of Bond. They had 4 of their kids go to the Civil War, but one is a mystery. I will let you know about that one. Another soldier buried here participated in capturing President Jefferson Davis. We have another soldier here buried from the Vietnam War, which I'm going to be talking great length about him. So stay tuned. It should be an interesting investigation. Here we're standing next to the grave of Edwin Pierce. Edwin Pierce enlisted in Company M, 4th Michigan Cavalry, August 15, 1862. At the age of 26, he was taken prisoner at Stones River between Lebanon and Nashville, Tennessee. On November 12, 1862, he was granted parole and became the quartermaster sergeant of the cavalry on January 13, 1863. Shortly after the war, 4th Michigan Cavalry was one of the detachments of trying to locate and capture President Jefferson C. Davis. Mr. Pierce here participated in capturing President Davis. So it'd be interesting what he had to say when he met the Confederate president. Early in my intro, I mentioned a family by the name of Bond. Their family had 4 of their sons go into the Civil War. One of them, by the name of Thomas Bond, which his headstone is right over there in the back. Thomas Bond enlisted in Company A, 19th Michigan, age 26, September 5th, 1862. Became a corporal December 1st, 1862, then became a sergeant November 1st, 1863. He was wounded in action during the Battle of Spotsylvania Courthouse, May 15th, 1864, later discharged for disability April 28th, 1865. Now, his other brother Thomas, who is Thomas's brother Josiah, and also the relative Franklin, who their headstone is on the other side of the Bond one. They both enlisted in Company C, 16th Michigan, September 7th, 1861. Franklin transferred to Company F as a sergeant. However, he was discharged for disability August 20th, 1862. Now, his cousin Josiah took the ranking of Franklin and as a sergeant in the same company, and where he went into Battle of Gettysburg, where he was killed on Little Round Top. Now, I mentioned another one of their brothers, Benjamin Bond. Now, this is a mystery that I tried and looked to. On the obelisk says that he was a member of Company F, 16 Michigan as well. I did my research. I could not find no record of him fighting with the 16th. However, his death records on October 15th, 1864. Doing research on where the 16th Michigan was around then, during that date, 16th Michigan was at the Battle of Petersburg, and on that day, there was a federal expedition where Burnell's Mills to Murphy Station. There was so looking around, there is no headstone of where Benjamin is at. So another mystery. Did he actually fight with the 16th? Did he lie about anything? And his whole family's here. Where's his headstone? Is he actually buried here or not? It's another one of the greatest mysteries here in this cemetery. Here we're standing next to the gravesite of Mr. Charles Grayson. Doing research on Mr. Grayson was really interesting. Mr. Grayson enlisted in Company F, 3rd Michigan Cavalry, February 29th, 1864, at the age of 22, where he stayed until he mustered out in San Antonio, Texas, February 12th, 1866. Now, the most interesting thing that I found in his lifetime before the Civil War, both his parents were Virginians. He was actually born in Natchez, Mississippi. Just before the war broke out, his family moved up to Michigan, and then he enlisted into 3rd Michigan Cavalry. So, kind of interesting that a Southerner and family went up from all the way up from Mississippi all the way to Michigan just before the war broke out, and decided to fight with the North.
All right, so Mark and I were just talking about the veterans memorials here in the cemetery. There are approximately 1,200 memorials total here. Veterans memorials, over 100. There's quite a few here, ranging from the Civil War all the way up to Vietnam. Have you found anything post-Vietnam? Okay, well, there you have it. So from the Civil War all the way up to Vietnam, there's a veteran here, at least one, representing every single war. Sad.
So you're probably wondering why I'm in a Vietnam uniform. Everyone knows me doing Civil War. Over the past winter time, I decided to do more, trying to get doing less Civil War and doing another passion. What I was always into was the Vietnam War. Um, by January of this year, I became a Vietnam War reenactor. Still doing Civil War, but I'm going to be doing more Vietnam, um, just to try to honor the Vietnam vets, what they've gone through right after the war, trying to get through life. So here we're standing next to Gary Lee Hensley. In 1966, Gary was drafted into the Army as a Specialist 5 Field Artillery Operations. At 10:13 p.m. November 3rd, 1967, he was under mortar barrage at his fire base. His base perimeter was probed 3 times by 10:55 p.m. The attack became so intense, his unit lowered their howitzer tubes in direct fire to the angles to keep their perimeter intact. The attack lasted until 1:30 in the morning. During that firefight, Gary was the only one killed in action. 18 others were wounded. Sad part was his tour would ended the following month. He was a short timer. He was about to go back home, but sadly he died before returning. During that time, they couldn't find his body. They listed him as MIA. Until a few days later, his remains came up, and then he got buried here. So this one was really emotional. I was doing research on this guy. So for your service, sir.
Okay, guys, it's pretty much a waiting game now for the sun to go down a little lower. I've noticed something really unusual. If you guys remember last year and earlier this year, Mark and I went out to a cemetery out between Cassopolis and Dewaljac, Frost Cemetery. And last year, Mark and my wife were the ones to get affected, and I've never really had an issue myself. But this evening I was walking around just kind of get preliminary readings on the K2 meter. I'm starting to get a very, very sharp pain right here at the base of my rib cage. I actually noticed it when we were over and Mark was telling the story of the Vietnam vet a few minutes ago. That's when it got really intense. I don't know what it means. I'm going to watch it. We'll just have to wait and see. I've never been affected at a cemetery before, but I am feeling it now. Whew. I've got Mark checking real quick on this grave right here. David A. and Gregory D. Carter. David was born August 27th, 79. Greg was born May 15th, 77. Both died September 3rd, 95. So far, he's not been able to find anything. It's really sad. That's really odd. When I was just there at the brother's grave, I glanced up and seen a shadow right in that area there. Not seeing anything now. It's very odd though. When I seen that shadow, that's when my side started hurting again. It's odd. Alright guys, we've done just about all the preliminary we can do. We're just waiting on the sun to go down so we can really delve in to the parahistorical portion of the cemetery and see if anybody has anything to say. Yeah, I know.
Nothing. I didn't.
It's weird.
Yeah, it says killed in battle. Resaca,
Georgia, yep. May 17th, 1861.
And I didn't. There's nothing. All it talks about Resaca, Georgia, was during 1864, when the major battle was during that time. There is.
I don't know. John Griffis. Yes, John Griffis. Where in Resaca, Georgia, were you killed, sir? Was it a large battle or was it a skirmish, John?
What we couldn't tell at the time was there was still communication going on. It wasn't the same voice. The voice that was trying to come through was a much deeper, guttural voice than the one from John a few moments before.
John, can you talk to me? It says you were killed in Resaca, in Georgia, before the first Battle of Bull Run. Yes? Yes. Can you tell me about the Battle of Resaca, John? We what, John? Are you getting anything?
You got the word separate.
Separate. John, can you see the little black box sitting right above your name? There's a green light on it. If you can see that little black box, can you touch it? Can you make other lights light up on it? Can you make lights light up on that, John? Yes, no. Huh.
Can you make the yellow lights go yellow?
I don't know what that was. What the hell?
Did you get that recorded?
I hope it recorded. That was a
That wasn't.
That was a squeal screech.
Definitely. That was not. Odd. Yeah, that was odd. It said odd.
Did your box said odd?
Yeah, it said odd. After that, whatever the hell that was, it said odd. Yeah, that was odd.
What?
It is coming in that cornfield.
Yeah, I know. There's that pain again.
Josiah, Franklin, anything you wish to say? We're here to listen.
Started scanning.
Josiah, are you here? Franklin?
Guys, we have a box device in your headstone. Do you think you can move the colors? Orange, yellow?
What? He said what?
Can you move the colors on the device that's on your headstone?
Angela.
Angela.
Stab.
Stab.
Stab. What do you mean by stab? Talking about my partner here? He's got some
Scanning stopped.
pushed me. Who pushed you? Someone's pushed you to get stabbed? Were you pushed into a Confederate? Is that how you died? You got stabbed by a bayonet? Oh, I keep looking into the cornfield.
Yeah, whatever that was, it was loud.
It was.
It was. At first I thought it was an owl or something, but that's just
Yes.
weird.
Not sure if it's an animal or
Or
I don't know. No.
all right, guys, we are picking up a lot of oddities, odd just in general. There is a farm directly west of us. A noise just came from that direction. Mark, of course, instantly assumed it was a farm animal. I grew up on farms. I never heard anything make a noise like that before. Almost sounded like somebody was sticking a hog. Just a few seconds ago, we were walking back to the south where the road was going through the cemetery, and there are two bushes right here. Just a second, let me show you. I just seen a shadow figure, or some kind of a shadow. It looked like a person, but it looked almost as tall as those bushes are. You're talking 8 feet. Unless somebody's playing tricks. We're finally getting some activity out here. It just seems odd. So far, nothing hostile except this pain in my side that won't go away. We're going to keep going. A lot of bats. Well, you know, it's nighttime and we're by a church with a very old belfry. They have bats in their belfry. Can you talk to us, Gary? Can you let us know what it was like?
Decided.
Decided.
Specialist 5, Hensley.
2.
Is there anything you'd like to talk? Like to say?
2.
Study.
Study.
You wish to say anything?
Veil.
Veil.
Seventy.
70.
Specialist Hensley. Anything you wish to talk?
Up.
Up.
Panel.
Panel.
Quack.
Quack.
Wild.
Wild. What was wild? All right, I'm going to come over here with this little box.
B.
B. Whoa.
Specialist Hensley, can you make the colors change?
Heavy.
Heavy.
Was the fighting where your fire base was it heavy? If that was heavy, can you make the colors change?
Oh.
Oh.
$15.
15. Hmm. Noon.
Ramp.
Ramp. Not understanding.
Goner.
Goner. Goner.
Veronica.
Veronica.
I don't get that one.
Okay, I'm shutting these off.
Magic.
Magic. Just out of curiosity, Specialist, are you trying to discourage us so we'll leave? The words you're saying are make devil.
Intermittent.
Intermittent.
Oh, Specialist, I don't know what you're trying to do here.
Land. Devil.
Unlock.
Unlock. Was there a door or a portal unlocked that let the devil come?
Grasp.
Grasp. Did the devil grasp something?
Little.
Little. I don't understand little. I seen the little children earlier. Is that what you're talking about?
Bury.
Bury. Like you're buried? B-U-R-Y. Yes, the little children were buried. Sad, but it's true.
Instead.
Instead of what? The little children were buried in Satan. Thank you, Specialist.
Opium.
Opium
There was a lot of opium raids in Vietnam.
in Vietnam, yeah.
Informed.
Informed, yes. You have informed us. Thank you, Specialist.
Thank you for your service, Specialist.
All right, guys, we don't know what is going on out here. Mark and I both feel like we're being watched. We've got this numb, tingling sensation on our right side. The pain below the left side of my rib cage is completely ball busting nuts. We're going to spend just a little bit more time here. I'm going to walk around a little bit with the voice box, see if I can come up with anything. This is turning out to be a very, very interesting place.
Ghost.
Ghost. All right, guys, I just walked off just a couple minutes ago. So far, it told me about a large bet and her ghost. I don't know what it is, but I'm getting a pain in my back right now, and I need Mark to look at it because I'm not liking the way it feels.
What you got
Mary.
Mary.
Where at?
Scanning stopped.
Right down the center of my bloody back. Right down the center of my bloody back. I hate doing this, so I'm gonna get chewed up by a skeeter.
Red mark.
Red mark.
Red mark right here. No joke.
Mark just snapped this picture, guys. I don't know if you can see it or not. Right down the center of my back.
Is that where you were getting your pain?
That's where the pain just came from when I walked away from the camera. Look at that. And it's starting to burn now. I wonder if it's even worse than it was.
About the same.
About the same?
About the same.
All right, guys.
Yeah, that's...
Personal attacks are happening. Luckily, it's me and not Mark with his medical issues going on right now. We're going to call this investigation for obvious reasons. First time for everything, I guess. All right. We're out of here. We'll catch y'all later. All right, guys, Mark and I just pulled out of the South Wayne cemetery. It's the first time that I have ever endured a personal attack or actual physical signs of an attack. We've never encountered anything like that before, have we?
First time ever.
I don't know what the deal is, why it got so active at night, but that's going to be definitely one to remember, that's for sure. So, well, at least the numbing sensation on my right side has stopped.
I was just going to ask you, how was your side?
My left side, under my rib cage, still hurts a little bit, but not
as extreme when we were in the cemetery?
Yeah, not as extreme, and the thing on my back isn't burning as bad now that we've left either. Definitely a cemetery worth marking down as one of the eeriest we've ever done. Everything was good until we got Satan and devil, and it went downhill from there, besides for the weird screeching noise we heard out in the field to the south side of the cemetery. South Wayne Cemetery is definitely going to go down as one of the most eerie cemeteries we've ever investigated.